I want to take a few moments to tell you about Ace Dollhouse and to show you how easy it is to shop with them. Ace Dollhouse is an online women's fashion boutique that offers a versatile collection of trendy styles. There are literally fashions for every season and every occasion, and Ace Dollhouse updates their styles very often. All you have to do is go to acedollhouse.wixsite.com, navigate to the shop tab, look through the styles you love, choose your size, and add it to your cart. As a listener and supporter of my content, use my promo code LexC at checkout to get 20% off your entire purchase. That's promo code LEXC at checkout, and you'll get 20% off your purchase. When I got my first purchase from Ace Dollhouse, I remember how amazing I looked and felt in that dress, and I want my audience to feel the same. So head over to acedollhouse.wixsite.com and shop now.
Hey there, my name is Lexi, and thank you so much for tuning in. In this video, I have been watching everything that's been going on with R&B artist Summer Walker and kind of just like taking mental note of what's going on and how she's responding to it and how everyone else is responding to her. And I just wanted to take the time to make this video because I think it's important for anyone who is wanting to pursue the career of being in the music industry as front and center an artist. I think that this is a great learning opportunity for anyone who aspires to be in that position to take note of what she in particular is going through. And I'll look over there because I have a video up right now of the video that inspired me to do this particular episode that you're tuning into right now. But anyway, I think it's worth noting that if you are an aspiring artist, I don't know if I mentioned it in a previous video or not, but you have to be consistently preparing yourself for every level of success that you're going to hit. Granted, you cannot plan for everything that's going to take place, but just from having watched celebrities growing up, and this is for me as well as anyone else who is an aspiring artist or someone who aspires to be within the music industry, you very much have to make sure you are, in a sense, grooming yourself and developing yourself to be able to handle the things that come with fame. I have been watching people like Aaliyah, Beyonce, Alicia Keys, Sierra. I've been watching these people since I have been growing up. B2K will be another one, Bow Wow. Watching how they've grown as artists and how they've dealt with being in the spotlight and things that have been said about them, rumors that have been thrown their way, how they've developed into grown adults because a lot of them were just kids or teenagers when I was growing up listening to them. And just because I aspire to be in this industry, I watch people who are in a position that I want to be in to see how they're dealing with it and what kinds of things they have to deal with so that I can make mental note for myself. Okay, they're dealing with da 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 da. How can I prepare myself? How do I know I am? And what can I do to combat that, to protect my mental health, to protect my energy, my sanity, all of that good stuff. So all of that to say that we're going to talk about Summer Walker in this video. And I've kind of been avoiding this topic because, and I have a lot of notes written about this, but I've kind of been avoiding this topic because I was very much at risk of becoming a hater of Summer Walker, and I can admit that in public now. I've talked to people about it, but now, it's cool for me to talk about it publicly because it's not just going to help me getting off my chest. It's not just going to help me. It's going to help other people, hopefully, to see how I'm dealing with it. The same way we're about to examine what she's been dealing with. So the reason why I was possibly going to be a hater of Summer Walker if I did not check myself is because she and I went to school together and we had music class together. And it's just, I was thinking about it earlier today, and it's like, she and we did not have the exact same start, but there was a point that our paths intersected. And had I taken action the way that she did, had I taken some of the steps that she did, could that have been me in her position? What did I miss to where I did not get to the level that she is at, even though we potentially started at, at the same point. Our paths crossed, we intersected. I was so close to someone who is, famous, who has made it to that level. Here I am aspiring to be that, and she has made it, and we've been in the same vicinity. It's just like I've never been close to someone who has blown up. So that's why I say I could have very much become a hater, because it's like just comparing stories. We're both going to the same school for the same degree, audio production. She drops out. I stayed in to, finish school or whatever. I heard she was a dancer. I don't know. I didn't do any research or Googling on her about that or anything, but I heard she was a dancer. I have toyed with the idea of being a dancer many a times because it's very popular in Atlanta. And the way the culture is going right now, it just makes it seem like dancers and strippers are really winning and taking over the game. And so it's kind of that little pressure in the back of my mind, you know what I mean? But, she dropped out. I did not. She actually became a dancer. I have contemplated being a dancer. And it's just like, what steps did she take? I racked my brain for probably a couple months. Like, how did she get to where she is? And what did I miss, even though we started kind of in the same place, our stories are not the same, but our timelines did cross. And that's the part that was always like bugging me, like, dang. And then I'm hearing stories like she wasn't even interested in music like that. She didn't even want it that bad. And it's just like, yo, I've been building my foundation since I got to Atlanta. What am I missing? Why did I not catapult the way that she did? What did she do? What did she do? And all these thoughts like that. So I could have possibly become a hater of Summer Walker for those reasons. Like, why is she where I want to be, even though we kind of started in the same spot? But I had to check myself on that really quickly and understand that this is not exactly what I said earlier. Everyone's story is not the same. Our timelines are not the same. And that's just something that we have to come to grips with. If someone looks like they are accelerating and moving faster than you, progressing quicker than you are, that's because that's what their path entails for them. You don't really know what your path has for you. You don't know what all your journey will include. So you can't be upset with somebody for doing what you want to do and getting it quicker than you have, even though you feel like you've put in a lot of work. You feel like you've been building a foundation and preparing yourself and all this stuff. All of that to say, I am taking this opportunity to say, dang, I was in close vicinity with someone who has blown up in literally just like 2 years. First project is a smash. Everybody loves it. And then suddenly you're hearing people that I grew up listening to, like off the top of my head, I can think Rick Ross saying her name, London on the Track. And, we got friends who have worked with her and helped her get where she is, and seeing YouTubers now talk about this person and I remember going into the club and it's a slow song. The DJ was playing fast stuff all night. They stopped it real quick and started playing her music. I'm hearing her on the radio and all over the place. And it's just like, yo, to have been so close. All right, let me not say, let me not think of this as a bad thing. Like, oh man, why does she get to where I want to be? Let me instead take the opportunity to examine how she is handling where I want to be, and, try to take some insight, try to get some wisdom into how I need to further prepare myself for that level of success. So I want to give a shout out to the EMPRESSIVE channel. I watched her video, Summer Walker Snaps at Wendy Williams and Haters. She talks about Drake and her 3-hour lateness. This video is really what inspired me to want to make my video. And shout out to EMPRESSIVE. If you want to take a look at the points that I'm going to be bringing up, you can go watch her video, and she has the full rant from Summer Walker, basically checking people and explaining herself on, Haters and Drake and being late for her concert in Toronto. But going back to the whole subject of preparing for fame, I wanted to take further look at what she's been going through and how she's been handling it, and kind of for myself look at how would I handle certain situations that she is in. So From what I understand, she's been involved in like baby mama drama. People have been kind of bullying her or talking badly about her as far as her looks. There was the whole thing with the I don't like taking showers, people calling her dirty for that and misunderstanding what she meant by, not liking showers. She might like baths, I don't know. And then she says she's been getting body shamed. She says she has social anxiety, which has been a huge topic the past couple of months. She's really helped to bring that to the forefront. And then there's just the whole issue of like canceling tour dates. So from everything, and again, go watch Impressive's video on Summer Walker about her snapping at Wendy Williams and her haters and talking about why she was late for her show in Toronto. And so I'm watching her do her rant, and I just came up with a couple of points that I want to keep in mind for myself, as well as anybody out there who is aspiring to be in this industry. How can we learn from her? So first thing I came up with, people will have an opinion about everything you do. So when you get to the level that Summer Walker is on, you have to think about the fact that you are sacrificing certain luxuries, certain privileges, and the main luxury, the main privilege is privacy. And I don't know how to explain it, but basically the privacy, I guess, of having your own little world and not having it under a microscope, not having every little thing you do examined by everybody, people who don't know you, people who don't know the details of a situation. We have, as normal people, I'm normal right now, and I've very much thought about this concept very much. How am I going to protect my privacy? How am I going to maintain a sense of privacy? Because people will have an opinion about everything you do, every move you make, every look you have, every look you don't have. When people think that you should look a certain way and be presented a certain way, people are going to have something to say. And especially when you put your personal opinions out there, everyone's going to have something to say about that. So it's like, seeing what she's going through, the whole shower thing. Suddenly people are calling her dirty because she says she doesn't like to take a shower. She likes to take baths. And it's just like something as simple as that. How do you stay connected, understanding that everyone's going to have an opinion? How do I decide, what I will allow to be public, what I want people to know from me? Like what am I going to show people? How will I decide what I can give to them and what I need to keep for myself? And I always want to think of like Beyonce as a great example, because she does not give much personal opinion on what she's doing, what she's going through, how she feels about anything. And a lot of people have gotten frustrated with her, calling her robotic in that manner, but it's actually really smart when you think about it. You don't make a reaction, so people cannot base their opinions off of whatever reaction you got, and you make something powerless by not giving it your attention. If you make it a big deal, everybody around you is going to make it a big deal. And as a celebrity, everyone's going to have something to say. The opinions, the criticism, it's multiplied times 10. The magnitude is just worse. So looking at what Summer is going through, people will have an opinion about everything you do. Are you going to address it? How are you going to decide like what to share and what to keep for yourself? And how are you going to make sure that you're keeping your peace so that you're not losing your mind every time you read something or every time you hear something that someone has said about you in a negative way, even though you know that they don't know you personally, they don't know the details of a situation? How are you going to handle that? Next point, she was talking about in the video, she went off saying that she did not apologize to her fans for being 3 hours late for her show. And she basically kind of just like tiptoed around, why she was late, saying things like, I didn't know what time I was supposed to be on. Makeup was late, or equipment was delayed, had to fire my sound team, and just a lot of, reasons as to why things go wrong. So there's actually 2 points in this one. So the first being that as an artist, you have to understand that you are the brand, you are the product. You are the figurehead. You are in the forefront. So just like the president of the United States of America, if something goes wrong, it's your fault. Why? Because you are in the spotlight. That is what people see. People need someone or something to point the finger at, to point the blame at. And if you are an artist, you are consistently in the spotlight. And of course, you're going to be the first one blamed because you are the first one that they see. You are the first one that people can like pin it on. You know what I mean? Like, people don't understand what goes on behind the scenes. If you are not an artist, if you're not actively pursuing this, if you're not involved in the industry, if you don't take the time to research it, as a normal person, you just don't know. But there is a lot that goes into these concerts, into these tours. There are a lot of moving pieces, and a lot of potential for things to go wrong. And, everyday people just don't understand that. So first point I really want to get out, as an artist, you are in the forefront. If anything goes wrong with your presentation, with your show, it is your fault. If anything happens, it is your fault. You are the first one who is going to be blamed because you are the figurehead. You are in the spotlight. People can see you. You are more readily visible to them. And in general, normal people do not understand all of the workings of what goes into this. So yes, everything's going to be your fault. The least that I think she could have done in this particular situation, in trying to explain why the show started 3 hours late, is to simply just apologize to the fans. And I'm kind of skipping around here, but she did not apologize to anybody for why things happened the way they did. And, she's entitled to that. But the other point I wanted to make was, understand that sometimes you're going to have to apologize for things that are not necessarily your fault. And I was reading underneath this Impressive's video, people were saying, oh, she sounds like someone who just really hates her job. Someone made a really good analogy, and I can relate to it because I used to be a server. She was like, just because when you are the server, you are like the only interaction that people have with the experience of the restaurant. You are like the physical embodiment of the restaurant and the entire experience, right? As a server, you cannot control how quickly the food comes out. You can't control if the food's going to be good. So if there's something wrong with the food, the table is not going to be speaking directly with the cook. They're going to be speaking directly with you because you are their line of communication. You are, again, that representation of the experience that they are having. You are going to get the blame because you are partially in control of what's going on here. And if something went wrong, you need to fix it. So I really like that analogy. Again, back to the whole point of, as an artist, you are the figurehead. You are in the forefront. Just because, something happened that's out of your control, understand that you're going to have to apologize for things that you necessarily did not have control over. And I didn't like how she was calling people like haters or annoying for how they were reacting to her 3-hour lateness for her show in Toronto, which brings me to my next point. Think about how you're going to interact with fans. Like, be careful how you're interacting with fans, and be careful that you are not. Be careful to understand that you are in a position that you're in because people, complete strangers, spent their hard-earned money to come see you, to buy your merchandise, to buy your music, to buy the extra expensive tickets for the meet and greets. And these people spent their hard-earned money. The least you can do is give them the respect of an apology. The least you can do is, just don't call them names. Don't act like they're annoying. They are the reason why you are in the position you are in. And I always think to myself, like, man, on top of not having privacy, on top of everyone having something to say about what my every move is going to be, no matter what I do, whether good or bad, how am I going to make sure, like, you hear stories of celebrities people think that they're mean because off of a first interaction, the celebrity doesn't want to take a picture. Celebrities are people too. Summer Walker is a person too, and she's very much entitled to her opinion. She is very much entitled to handle these things the way that she sees fit and how she thinks is best for her. But for me personally, thinking about how I would want to interact with my fans, I would want to make sure that, all right, I know that I don't always like being approached. I'm quite introverted. Unless I'm like comfortable in small settings with you, I'm pretty much introvert. I'm just gonna sit back and watch the room. I don't like to approach people, don't always like to be approached. So how would I get myself out of that shell of allowing people into my space to say hey, allowing people into my space to say, oh my gosh, can I have an autograph? Can I take a picture with you? Can I da 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 da? You know what I mean? So just, I want to be very mindful of, I'm having a bad day. What if someone comes to me and they want a picture or they want to ask me a question or something? Being very mindful of how you're interacting with your fans, because your fans are the reason why you were in the position you're in. I'm going to try to hone in on this point because we cry. Right now I'm in the position where like I don't feel like I have the support I want. I don't know who my fans are. So I'm just trying to, make sure that whoever I can pick out as fans, as supporters, as people who interact with my content, that I am giving them what they would like. It frustrates me hearing Summer talk about her fans the way she does, calling it annoying. I know that she's fed up too. She's human. But it's just like, yo, this is something that I have actively been preparing myself for. When you are in music, of course, the main goal is to share the music with as many people as possible. And guess what? That means fame. That means everyone knowing your name. That means everyone talking to you. That means everyone talking about you. Everyone wanting to be in your space, wanting to be in your face. I am preparing myself mentally. I've been building my foundation and, just trying to get a following. And she has all that. She's made it there. And she is not handling it well. And it's just like, yo, do you know how many people would kill to be in the position you're in? And you are just not trying to find ways, seemingly not trying to find ways to make it work. You seemingly do not love this job, which so many of us are chasing and so many of us are going after and aspire for. And a lot of the comments, I love to read comments underneath these videos because people have some interesting points to make. Someone was like, there's not enough artist development anymore. That's part of the problem of the culture that we're in right now, in this instant gratification. Labels want ready-made artists that already have a following, but they're not making sure that the artist has had any kind of media training, or they're not making sure that anyone is kind of like checking in with the artist to make sure like, hey, this is how you deal with this. This is how you handle this when it comes. There is no development. They want, as someone said, a popcorn artist, someone who came up seemingly really quickly. They didn't have the slightest notion probably that they were going to be famous. So there was no preparation, no foundation set. And now that artist is like crumbling under the pressure because there was no development. There was no time taken to teach anyone about what you may have to deal with as a celebrity. And it kind of frustrates me to see that she's going through this and ranting the way she does. The same way that Cardi B kind of annoys me now. I used to think it was really cool how open she was about how she feels. But now it's just like, yo, at some point you got to figure out like what is going to work best for you so that you can appreciate this very thing that you used to always pray for. And I'm just hoping for myself that like when I make it to that level, because I'm not yet at her level, I'm praying that when I make it to her level, I remember moments like this where I said, dang, Lord, I really want this. I want that influence. I want to touch people. I want to influence people in that way. I hope I don't take it for granted the way that it seems she is. So let us take a page from Summer Walker. I appreciate how transparent she is being. All of that being said, I appreciate how transparent she is being about everything she is going through, because it's really important for someone like me who is watching, who is preparing myself to be in her position. It's extremely helpful. She is putting us up on game right now. If you are an aspiring artist, make sure that you are paying attention to some of your favorite celebrities, paying attention to people who you want to be in the positions that they are in. So you are preparing yourself to handle the stresses that they say that they have. And even though I don't like necessarily how she's interacting and how she seems to be taking this for granted, I am so grateful that she is putting me up on game by doing these live IG videos and letting us know how it is. So if I were you, an aspiring artist, which I am, I would take a page from her notebook and study hard and think of systems that I could build into place to make sure that my foundation is set, so I understand what kinds of things I would need to be able to properly deal with the things that she's going through, and the people I can surround myself with to help me be my happiest, be my best, and keep me on the straight and narrow when I am feeling a little too stressed or whatever. You know what I'm trying to say? So I hope that you learned something from this video the same way that I have in examining what Summer Walker is going through. Let me know what you think in the comments down below. Do you think she is, how do you think she's doing? How would you deal with fame if you were in her position? And just let me know your thoughts. But thanks so much for tuning in. My name is LexC. Until next time, peace.
Roll me in between the sheets and we can steal some kisses. This the type of day we miss and take a day each week to get it. Doing what we do now. Oh, ain't no stopping once we do it. Pull me closer, make me lose.
Hey, this is LexC, and you're listening to my new song, Bed Dream, from my latest album, self-titled LexC. Click the links in the description below to listen to my new album, available on Spotify.